What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Foxy. Welcome back to the Fox's Den. Been a good couple days, and I just had a little bit of time with family, so I'm a little behind, but I've decided that I'm just going to, instead, where usually we were catching up on Fire Force Thursdays and Fridays, I'm going to push that until next week. I'm going to leave that off for a little bit, and I'm going to upload what I'm thinking, since today's Monday. We're getting into VINLAND SAGA, Episode 2. Very excited for this in Season 2. But in terms of the schedule for this week in particular, since I just was so busy with family this past weekend, Monday today, Vinland. Tomorrow, I'll probably do My Hero. Since I'm behind on that, I want to go ahead and get that uploaded as soon as possible instead of waiting towards the end of the week. And then Wednesday is going to be Blue Lock like usual, because that's usually when it's uploaded and right after My Hero. And then Thursday, probably Tokyo Revengers, and then Friday, One Piece, and then once Saturday starts, this coming Saturday, we'll be back on schedule, hopefully, if I'm not doing anything. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing anything, but we shall see. So that's what we're doing this week, because usually Thursdays and Fridays I fill up with Fire Force and finish that up, because I'm literally 3 episodes away from finishing that up, and I want to get that done. So that will probably be finished up next week, Thursday and Friday. I'll probably upload all 3 of those episodes, if I had to guess, just to get it out of the way. But that's just a little heads up on what the hell's been going on, since I haven't uploaded on Saturday and Sunday, which is what I usually do. But yeah, I was just busy hanging out with the fam, chilling with my girl Luna and the nephew, and so yeah, we were having a good time just chilling. But today is a beautiful Monday, and we're getting into Vinland Saga, Episode 2 of Season 2. The first episode was stunning. I've really missed the vibes of the show and just how the show is in general. Just like the whole like Viking vibe and like how like brutal it is, and it really takes you aback. Like, wow, like this really happened in a moment in history. Maybe not all the minute details and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like this is its own story, but it does have at least a general aspect of like history, or like just looking back on like what Vikings like could have been like, or the time that they lived in was just absolutely insane. Way different from what we're at today, obviously. But like to think about it, like this like time frame and where we're at in the show, it's like around like 1000 AD or like 1100 AD, somewhere around that range. I think a little after 1000 AD. So that's like, if you think about it, that's like what, literally only 1,000 years ago. Like that's not really a lot of time in terms of like the whole Earth and like the universe and shit, in terms of like just chronological time, like in comparing it to that aspect, because the world's been around for a long ass time. So only 1,000 years difference from then to now, and it's just kind of shocking to like think about. Like 1,000 years, yes, that is a long time. That's literally a millennia. But in terms of comparing it to everything else, like the Earth and the universe, it's not that long. And god damn, have we come a long way, because this shit was crazy. But in terms of the first episode in general, we kind of just got they literally summed up everything that we needed to know about this new character in one episode, which I really liked. Einar, we meet him and we kind of learn basically in that one episode where he comes from, his background, what he's been through, and so we get an idea of what the hell he's, I guess, about, and what he's been through and living for, or trying to live for, in that first episode, and that's it. And then right at the end, we actually see Thorfinn, which I'm so glad they actually at least gave us that in the first episode, and this is how apparently Einar and Thorfinn met. So I'm still a little confused, because it seems like that this person that bought Einar, and I'm assuming came across Thorfinn at one point too, I guess, because I don't know how how else he'd end up here. If I don't think he would just know about it on his own free will and just like come here. I mean, maybe, but I'm assuming he went through a similar occurrence that Einar went through, where this old man finds him in a slave market and buys him to come help him out and everybody else out on this huge farm that he owns. I mean, it's stunning how big it actually is in terms for that time period. Like, it's really, really stunning. But I'm still confused. Like, are they really slaves? Like, is this old man like still like, is he just a nicer like person, but he still considers them slaves, or did he buy them to get him out of the slave market, and under the pretense that, yeah, you're my slave, but like you get to come here and just work on a farm and live a decent life? Because most slaves, I mean, they're going through the fucking ringer, bro. They don't have a chance in hell, dude. Some of these masters are like people that buy slaves. I mean, they're buying them to fucking have their own pleasure with them sexually, or literally just to help them out with the most decent of like simple of things and then fucking beat them all day just to take their frustrations out on another human being, and it's like considered normal. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still a little confused on this. You know, are they actually slaves here on this farm, or you know, is this, you know, older person who bought them, is it how I thought it was, where he's buying them and kind of giving them a liberation in a sense where they can actually live and lead a sort of normal life, just living on a farm and eat good and, you know, whatnot, because most slaves don't get that chance. So I'm very curious to see if this is like, you know, like how much are they really, like, is this, you know, old man leading on that he's like a nice guy, like is it really as nice as it seems? Like, do they get to work however they want, or like is he gonna have like, fuck, is he gonna bring out the whips if somebody doesn't listen or something? Like, I don't know. I'm curious to learn more about this guy and the farm and how Thorfinn got here, and like how their relationship between Thorfinn and Einar is going to continue to grow, because obviously, you know, at the end of the episode, Einar was talking in past tense on like how he first met Thorfinn. So I'm curious to see like what they go about and grow as a pair, since I guess they're, you know, getting to know each other here, and you know, see where we go from here, and see what Thorfinn's been through in terms of the time gap between the end of season 1 and now, and what they talk about, because obviously they're from pretty similar backgrounds. I mean, most people are from pretty similar backgrounds in this time and age, but they're kind of like two sides of the same coin, because Thorfinn was literally a part of Vikings, and he's been fighting his whole life, like on the side of Vikings, and like Einar, you know, his family was taken away from him by Vikings, as well as his village and like everything he ever knew. So, like I was saying in the last post discussion, I'm thinking Einar is gonna at first, like when he learns about Thorfinn's background and about being a Viking, maybe he learns about it from the old man. Like maybe he, you know, chimes in and like says, like mentions something on why he's so like reserved or like quiet, because he looks like, whenever I first saw him, he looks like he's empty. Like you could say it's like a calm look, like he looks like he's calm, or like just like at peace, I guess. But really what that is telling me, because of how much he's been through, I feel like it's more of like an emptiness feeling, or like a lost feeling, like he's just unbothered now because he's been through so much, and there's still a lot to unravel inside of him. In his mental too. So I'm very curious to see like how they bounce off of each other, and what Einar thinks of him at first whenever he learns about his true background, because I mean, you know, Einar is probably gonna, like I said, I would think he's probably gonna be like taken aback at first, like, oh fuck you, like I don't want nothing to do with you, like, you know what I'm saying, like how could you be a part of Vikings, like they're the most, you know, the scum of the earth, they're evil, blah blah, this and that. So I'll be curious to see like how they talk about their own backgrounds, and see how they bounce off of each other, because Thorfinn used to be like pretty like, you know, hot-headed, and didn't really fuck with many people at all. You know, he's always been like a lone wolf, even though he was a part of those Vikings, and now he doesn't look like he has that anger right now, but it looks like he just has, it looks like he's just empty, like he doesn't know where his life is taking him, like he has no goal, no nothing. So I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm very excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's do it. That's enough chatting out of me. If you guys enjoy the video, please leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you're new. There's plenty more on the way. Let's get it. Good old Mappa intro. And I'm curious, because when I first saw it, it looked low-key familiar. And I've been watching some other reactors obviously watch the show, because I mean, I love watching reaction content. Was that intro first like Wit's intro or something, and like Mappa just took it? I don't know. I mean, obviously they didn't just take it, but I guess like Wit like allowed him to take it. I don't know. From what I can tell, there doesn't seem like there's any crazy spoilers in the intro, but there is some things that pique my interest, that I wonder how fast this pacing is going to go in this season. Okay. See, look, Thorfinn looks like just like whatever. So he's giving two people this job. Then clear the land, cut down the trees. You'll buy yourselves back. I fuck with this dude, bro. This old man is lit. Ah, fuck with this dude. Nah, yeah, nah, he's so cool, bro. I mean, obviously, I'd be shocked too if I was in this. Like, this dude is serious right now. He's actually willing to. He's giving us this amazing proposal to work for him, and then you'll be free after that. That's like your reward. Instead of getting paid, the payment is being free. Like, bro, nah, that's. I'll fuck with this guy. See, like, just look at his eyes, like, the whole time. Like, he just looks emotionless. And then Einar still seems like he has, like, some, like, light to him, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been through a lot, but, you know, like, he's still, like, he feels good about this happy feeling that he is this, like, rewarding feeling that he might get through this guy that bought him in the farm. But Thorfinn seems like he could care less. Yeah, he's like, I've never heard of it. Yeah, that's a shit ton, bro. Yeah, there's a shit ton. So, like, how great is this proposition, really? Because this is going to take a long time. He said maybe in 3 years. Okay, maybe that's realistic. I don't know if that is realistic or not, though, because that looks like a lot of work for 2 fucking people and some axes. You know, today we got chainsaws and shit, but you know what I'm saying? And this is low-key really symbolic because he started out, like, the first time we saw him, he was practicing, like, chopping on a tree. Because, like, he wanted to, like, train and be a warrior and protect his village and shit. And now he's chopping wood again, but he has no idea what he's doing. Yeah, this is a pretty good fucking place you have found yourself in, man. This is crazy. I feel like these guys are not a part of the farm. Oh wait, never mind. He was already eating it. These guys don't give a fuck. See, not everybody is nice. Just because this old man saved you doesn't mean everybody here is the same way. Oh, so okay, that's why they're so shitty, is because they're free and they think they're better than. That's why slavery's so fucking ass, bro. These people think they're better than them for no reason. They're literally just the same. They're human beings. Creates a stupid hierarchy, and it's not even higher. It's just in your head. Like, it's so dumb, bro. Wow, he diffused that situation pretty well. You have no idea what this kid has been through, bro. This horse has been through it, god damn. It's gonna get, yeah, it's gonna get the cut. Or caught. Just one log, one tree, bro. And they're supposed to clear this whole side of the river? It's fucking insane, bro. He said they were gonna build a raft, though. Why was he talking about a raft? Like, is he planning on just, like, escaping beforehand? See, that's what I'm talking about. There's this hierarchy that everybody fucking puts in their own head, like, oh, I'm better than you. It's like, no, bro. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're snitching at that point, and then they're gonna be annoyed, and then they're gonna fuck with them even more. Oh, and here we go. He's fallen in love immediately. It's gotta be his daughter or something, if I had to guess. Love at first sight. Oh my god. Yeah, I was about to say that better be halfway. Sometimes these episodes feel like they're going way too fast. Harvesting the wheat. These are huge wheat farms too, bro. Like, this can make plenty of food in terms of like regular food for everybody. Like, you know, just bread. Yeah, he's different, bro. He's got a good heart. Exactly. Everybody's the same, bro. You're all humans. This kid seems like a spoiled brat. Is he like his son? I figured, yeah, I figured it was his son. Spoiled brat. Yeah, this kid. Fucking asshole. Can't even pull your sword out. Can't even pull it out. He was probably gonna say, I'm gonna be a warrior. Can't even pull your fucking sword out. Now he's gonna say he says it as he's fucking fleeing. Oh, this guy, bro. I have a feeling he's gonna learn a lot through Einar and Thorfinn. I feel like Thorfinn's gonna be the main one actually like teaching both of them like a lot about life. Oh, he wants to join Prince Canut's army, which is pretty much where Thorfinn was before. So he's definitely gonna learn a lot from Thorfinn, if I had to guess. But that's what I'm saying. Thorfinn doesn't seem too interested. Like, he just seems unbothered and like empty. Like, he doesn't really want to deal with that shit anymore. Or maybe he's just completely forgotten because he really lost his whole goal by Ashland dying. So maybe like Einar like revives that like drive in him or something to have a goal or like to live a better life. I don't know. Oh my god. Yo. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to get them to have a kid together. That way the families are connected. Like, oh my god, it's so funny. It's also kind of weird. They're fucking peeping on their shit. Oh wow, and he doesn't want to sleep with her out of spite so they don't get what they want. Like, come on, bro. This guy has a very privileged mindset. He feels like he doesn't have to do anything that these slaves are doing. Oh, okay, see, that's one reason why he doesn't like it as well, is because he's just being looked at as the master's son. You know what I'm saying? Oh, these motherfuckers are souped. He drunk as shit. I'm sober, motherfucker. Don't worry about it. Are they gonna walk through the crops? Oh no. Literally, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, you're walking over the crops, bro. He says that, but watch, it's gonna fucking time lapse in the next morning. He's gonna be fucking hungover as shit. How you used to think too. Hmm. You're sleeping next to one. He's thinking about his past, probably, after you just mentioned that. Yeah, what he first saw. This was the first time that he saw them pillage anything. When he was following them. Probably remembers it clear as day. Damn it, bro. I want more, man. This show is so fucking good. Damn it. Oh. Alrighty, guys. What an absolutely another amazing episode of Vinland Saga. I'm really enjoying this. Like I was talking about in the pre-episode discussion before we got into this. Kind of curious on what the old man's motives really were, and if this is really like, you know, like slave master type of behavior, which it is. They are slaves, but he has a really, really good heart, where he pretty much answered my questions right away whenever they got into the meeting each other, officially being introduced to each other and saying hello. Basically, he told them, okay, you guys are going to be working together. This is your job. And then if you get this job done or whatever, blah, 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 then you will be free men. That's basically what he's paying them as. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he bought them. He used his own money to buy them. And now they're working together. And instead of, usually you would pay somebody money to do a job. But instead, since they're slaves, he's like, okay, you guys get this job done. You're free. Which is a really cool way of looking at it. And, out of the kindness of his heart, instead of putting him through, like, regular shit, you know what I'm saying? Or imagine they got bought by somebody else and they're just being tortured every night or fucking, used in whatever way you could think the worst possible ways. I mean, slaves are fucking usually treated like absolute dirt. So it's really cool to see that this old man has a different way of thinking and has a good heart in this time period and in this world, because that's really rare, to be honest. So pretty much answered my questions right away with that. So it seems like, this is a really good bargain for them. And, Thorfinn, like I said, he seems pretty empty. He's unbothered. He doesn't seem like he wants conflict either, because Einar was really pissed about the retainers coming to bring their lunch, and they basically ate all of it and then gave him the scraps, which was like literally like half a piece of bread and like whatever the fuck, I think butter or something, or I don't know, who knows. But yeah, they were, Einar was really pissed. He was like, okay, well, I'm about to stand up for myself, because he's tired of being treated like that. And this is where, like, a lot of people, this is what I'm talking about in terms of just slavery in general. Like, there is no, like, I guess there is an actual social hierarchy just because of the way that these people treat other people. But honestly, it's just all in their own heads. Like, the retainers are like, okay, you guys are slaves, so, you're lucky to eat it all, this and this and that, we're better than you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a shitty way of thinking, but that's pretty much like the entirety of this world in this time period. And it goes on for a lot longer. I mean, shit. Slavery has been around for a long time, and, there's fucking, I mean, I don't even know if it's like, I would like to think optimistically there's no slavery at all in the world at all anymore, but honestly I don't know. I have no clue. I'm ignorant on that, if there's any like slaves still out in like other countries or whatever. But I mean, it was only like 400 years ago that slavery was abolished in America, was it? Nah, it's like 200 something years ago, bro. It's like, it hasn't been that long if you think about it. Like, that is a long time in terms of our own lifespan, and like, I mean, shit, 5 years ago for me feels like a long time, but in terms of the grander scope of things, like I was talking about earlier, like the Earth, the universe, that's not that long ago. So the fact that people just can't see people for people, like, it's so weird to me, like how they have this, like, because like Einar mentioned it later in the episode, like, don't retainers still have to answer to the master and whatnot? Like, it's like, okay, and then he like thought about it. He was like, okay, well, they're halfway to being slaves themselves. Like, what the fuck are they? Why are they on what are they on their high horse about? Like, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all in their head. Like, people just think they're better than others, and it creates this huge disconnect. And it's like, it doesn't have to be like that. And then as Einar was seeing, as the master was working with everybody else harvesting the wheat, halfway through the episode, he was like, you know, it doesn't matter if you're English or if you're Danish or whatever, like, you know, if we're all working, we all look pretty similar, you know what I'm saying? We all look the same. And it's like, that's exactly how it is. Like, you guys are all human beings. We're all humans. Like, it's crazy to see like this displayed like this, and it reminds you like how shitty the human way of thinking was like not that long ago, you know what I'm saying? So it's just really stunning to see every time. Like, it's really, really interesting to me. And this show does a really good job of displaying it. But like I said, the whole time it seems like Thorfinn is kind of unbothered, and he doesn't really want any conflict, because when Einar was about to stand up for himself and like kind of get in trouble, I guess, with the retainers, Thorfinn like cuts in and he like diffuses the situation, and like he brings it down. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, thank you. That's enough, like, whatever. And it's like, damn, okay, so Thorfinn has a completely different way of thinking, or like I said, I think he just doesn't really care as much about his well-being or the things around him anymore, because he's already been through so much, and he's lost his goal, which was Ashland. You know, that was his whole goal, was to kill him, and then it was taken away from him. And, you know, he never was able to succeed through that and take care of it himself and kill him himself. And that was his whole driving force. So after losing that, it seems like he has no direction, and he doesn't really care about much or even really care much about himself. Like, he's just going with the flow. But then again, I am kind of curious on what the motive was, because I remember whenever they were pushing the log or the tree down to the river, like the riverside, he was like, okay, if we get enough, we'll build a raft. I'm like, okay, what do you need a raft for? Unless, like, I don't know what the raft would be used for, unless maybe it's like used to like help them like make the tree pulling or just the whole process more efficient. And if he's just trying to think about how to do this job more efficiently, or if he was like, that's making me think, okay, what do you need a raft for? Like, are you planning on trying to escape on your own or something? Take the river down to where the fucking sea and then just escape on a raft? I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't know if that's really his goal or not. That just kind of like stroked me funny, like, that's interesting why you want to build a raft. So I'm curious to see like what his, like, if we learn more about his actual motives. But it seems like he doesn't really have too many motives. Like, he's just going with the motions, and he's just kind of putting up with whatever his life is right now. And Einar, he's still very passionate. He still has a moral compass of what's wrong and right. And, you know, the people that, you know, have a, you know, higher status than slaves or whatever, you know, seeing like how they treat other people, like, obviously that still really pisses Einar off. To where Thorfinn, he doesn't really give a fuck. You know, he's already been through enough. Like, he could care less. Like, he just seems completely unbothered by most things right now in his life. He doesn't seem like he really needs to put up a fight or wants to put up a fight. Like, he just seems like he's kind of just going with the flow. And Einar, he's still kind of dumbfounded by just the whole reality of the world, and he's still trying to navigate like what he can do to make a difference, or like why, you know, questioning why people are this way, you know what I'm saying? Because it's really hard to get by and actually, you know, fucking move on with your life, because I mean, it's not fair. Obviously it's not fair. I mean, it's super not fair. Life in general, even today, is not fair. But back then, I mean, god damn, that's really not fucking fair, you know what I'm saying? Like, being sold in the slave market, then becoming a slave, or even if it's not slavery, then you're just getting pillaged by Vikings, and your homes are burnt down and you're killed, and it's just, oh bro, it's like the maximum amount of unfairness. I mean, Jesus Christ. But anyways, I really like that conversation that Einar was having in the barn when they were about to fall asleep. Towards the end of the episode, he started talking about like his past, and Thorfinn was, you know, it kind of reminded him about his past as well. And we learned that the first attack was from the Northern England army that his dad fought in to try and defend, and that's how his dad died. And, you know, he was, you know, saying like all I could do was watch, which, you know, obviously very frustrated him. That's why I guess he was kind of starting to train when he was a young man, just to be able to try and put up a defense. offense in any way if that happened again, which it did, which was by the Danes, and that's like what kind of opened Thorfinn's eyes, because he obviously traveled and lived with the Danes, is a Dane himself, and lived that way of life for a good while. And so like that's what reminded Thorfinn of his first experience seeing something like that, just as Einar was explaining his, like when he was a young kid, like 6 years old, just the first time like he's following Ashland and all of them. First village they come across, like he just sees them wreak havoc, burn all their houses down, pillage everything, kill them all. Like it's fucking insane. So yeah, obviously Thorfinn's been through a lot, and I think that's a big factor of why he's not really talking too much, or he doesn't seem too unbothered by most things now, because he has a very simple life in, like, I guess job right now, literally just cutting down trees, going back to wherever you fucking sleep at, go to sleep, do the same thing the next day. There's no killing, there's no like, there might be little rummaging of like arguments and like stupid shit, like how Einar dealt with the retainers and stuff, like people thinking they're better than other people. But Thorfinn, he knows what he can do. He could really fucking kill all 4 of them if he wanted to with no fucking struggle. That man's is a beast. But I think he's tired of all that, and I think it's finally caught up with him, and how his father didn't want him to get into any of this is because, like, you have no enemy, bro. There is no enemy. Why do you want to kill? You know what I'm saying? This is from the beginning of the show. Whenever he was a young kid, his father was trying to get this out of him of like, who's the enemy? You don't have an enemy. Like, who do you want to kill? You don't have to kill anybody. This and that, and then like how he lived his life, basically doing all of that, trying to get revenge and avenge his father, and then it led to nothing because he wasn't the one that killed him. So I feel like he's at a really lost point right now, but I'm curious to see, like, still curious to see, like, if he starts to talk about himself at all, because like I said, he's so unbothered right now. It doesn't seem like he really cares about letting anybody know who he is. But Einar, on the other hand, like, he's, you know, starting to get closer to Thorfinn. He's going to be working with him, obviously, and he's already starting to talk about his life. So how is the conversation, like, and the only way I can think about it is if someone literally comes up straight up and asks him, where are you from? What do you do? I mean, he answered the question, where are you from? He's from Iceland, and Einar doesn't even know where the fuck that is. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel like it's going to have to really, like, asked in front of him straight up, like, what was your life like? Where do you come from? Like, what have you done? What have you accomplished? This and that, or like, what have you been through? Like, it's gonna have to literally be asked out of him to him even care about answering or sharing that information, because it doesn't seem like he's just doing his job. He's just going with the flow. Like I said, bro, he doesn't seem like he's has too much of a motive or goal, really. So I'm curious. I'm just loving this. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's making you think. And I'm loving just getting back into the whole scheme of things in the show, because it's such a good story. It's written really well. There's a lot of symbolism and stuff like that too, and a lot of connections, like how I think Einar was talking about the master's son, who's a little privileged brat and doesn't really know what he wants, and you know, he's kind of all over the place, and he's like, why are you doing this work? Like, you shouldn't have to do this tedious fucking bullshit work. It's like, bro, he's obviously spoiled, obviously. But Einar was talking about, like, yeah, he probably wants to be a warrior, and I was like, just like you did at one point, you know. And then now he has a view of, like, warriors of just being complete beasts in human skin. Like, they're not, you know, humans. Like, they're beasts, and they take advantage of whatever they want. And so, like, that's his view now. But he wanted to be that until he saw the monstrosity of a warrior in front of him, and, like, you know, how savage they are, basically. So now he has a completely different view, but he still has this, like, yearning for something more, whereas Thorfinn, I don't think he does, and I don't think he will until, like, what I'm thinking is something's gonna spark his drive again, either through Einar or maybe even this the master's son, because he wants to be a warrior, right? And he wants to fight for Canute's army. That's what he said. Thorfinn was already a part of, like, that whole scene. He was there, like, for the majority of the turning point in which Canute became king. Like, he knows Canute. He fucking, like, taught Canute a lot of the things that he knew, and just in terms of being, like, standing up for yourself, because Canute was a little bitch when we first met him, but then towards the end of the show, like, he completely made a 180, and he learned a lot, and he actually became like a real king. You know what I'm saying? Like someone that is dependable, has good leadership and all this. And, you know, that was thanks to like traveling with Thorfinn and the rest of them, honestly, and being exposed to all of that just bad shit all around, you know what I'm saying? And navigating through it on his own, really. With the help of whoever he was with, Ragnar and, you know, whoever. But Ragnar babied him too much. So mainly like Thorfinn and like, you know, traveling with the Danes and Ashland and shit like that. So that was really interesting to hear from the master's son. Like he wants to go for Knut's army. So I'm assuming at some point maybe he actually, you know, wants to leave and actually puts those ideas into action, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna leave this day, or I'm gonna go, or I'm gonna train, and I'm gonna do this, and then like Thorfinn's gonna come across him, or Einar is gonna come across, and like somehow they start hanging out together, and then they realize Thorfinn is like the fucking lo and behold badass and like teacher that we need, because he's been through it all. You know what I'm saying? I just can't wait to see like when they learn about Thorfinn's background, because this kid is a little badass, and he's been through more than you two ever have, and you know it's gonna put some perspective into their lives, and I just can't wait to I just want them to know like that this kid is more than meets the eye. Like he has been through a lot, and Thorfinn is the guy, man. He's a savage, and he's been through a lot, and I think he deserves respect. So that's why I think that's the main reason why I want to see them learn about his background, is because he deserves all the respect that he can get, which is kind of ironic because he's a slave right now. You know what I'm saying? The amount of work that he's put in and whatnot, and the life that he's lived up until now, and then like now he has no drive, so he's a slave, and he doesn't really care what the everyday life is like, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a pretty good life for a slave though, so you know, maybe it'd be even worse for him. Like maybe he didn't even care, and like if he did have another master and he was getting treated like shit every day, getting whipped, tortured, whatever you may think another slave would be going through different masters, who knows if he'd even really put up a fight even then, because like I said, he's empty. Like he doesn't have any drive. It doesn't seem like he really cares. It's like maybe he'd still be putting up with that. Even he just got lucky by this master choosing him and having a decent life. But I feel like even if he didn't have this decent life, he would still not really care, and like not have any drive to get himself out of that situation. I don't think he would really give a shit, because he's lost his goal and has already been through so much. So yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait until we get the next episode and just continue down this. I just want the whole fucking season, bro. I want to see how this plays out. If we actually get Thorfinn back to like, if he ever gets back into the life that he was living before, but maybe in a more positive way, or just see what he has in. Like, I want him to have a goal, and I want him to, you know, live a good life and get to a point where he has a goal that he knows he's doing some good, you know, whether that's just going back and being with his family, or you know, seeing his mother and sister again, or you know, making his father proud, or you know, getting back into the war, but in, like I said, like a more positive way somehow, like maybe not killing people, but trying to save people and stuff. Like I feel like he's definitely not going to stay here, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just curious to see where this goes. And yeah, man, I could talk forever. This discussion's going on long enough, but like this show just makes you think. We're only on the second episode, so like I'm already thinking about like where the fuck we're gonna be at in a couple episodes, or how this is gonna progress. Like I just can't wait to see it all. I love it. But yeah, enough of me yapping. That's gonna do it for me. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe. There's plenty more on the way. I'll see you on the next one. Deuces.